Peter, when you have 2 days off and you're coming off a pretty good performance, it's a nice 3-on-3 type practice. What was the mindset there for the coaching staff?
Well, you want to get out and get a workout in, and you want to have something to accomplish, right? So, we haven't spent a lot of time on certain things. We wanted to get a workout in. There's always a little competition when you get into these situations, and it certainly helps in that aspect. So, the guys got out, they got a little workout, they got a workout in the gym, and they always have a little fun with that, and we don't miss a day on the ice.
You had some young defensemen in Florida last season. And what's the challenge there with those guys when they're bringing their games along? And what's Morgan been doing to kind of avoid maybe some of the slumps that typically can go that way?
Well, I think what happens is you're looking for consistency with these young players. They have to get stronger, and they have to get mentally a little more consistent too. The mental toughness part for young players is where their maturity is. That's what happens with these players, and in their second and third year you start having higher expectations, and so a lot of people start talking about the sophomore stuff. I don't believe in that. I don't think that. I think that's more people talk about it, the more it's kind of put out there and it kind of hangs over everybody. But young players have to continue to mature. They have to get stronger. They have to mentally mature. And their consistency level has to continue to develop. They're playing on high minutes in a lot of situations, so the expectations are there. They just got to continue to grow and develop.
Morgan was saying that he has to play with confidence, but that can be a challenge, I guess, when the team's not playing with confidence, and just as a young player.
I think all players that we can put that across the board. I mean, every player who's playing in the NHL has to be confident. You can't step on the ice in the best league in the world and expect to be successful if you're not playing with a lot of purpose, a lot of confidence, a lot of attitude, and the right kind of attitude. So, it's the challenge. That's what happens. That's why they're here. That's why they get paid what they do. It's not an easy league, and there's consistency across the league. So players have to bring what they have to do every single day. That means the work ethic and practice. That means being focused going into games and understanding what their responsibilities are.
You have a lot of Western Conference games coming up. You could even maybe include Columbus in that. Do you think there's an advantage in having yourself and a lot of players in that room who've been in the West to face these games?
Yeah, I think that certainly will help. Having Roman and Danny Winnick, myself, who've been in the Western Conference a lot. Randy's been out there before. He came out here, and so understanding some of the way teams play and some of the characteristics of some of the players, it certainly helps. They're going to be in the same boat when they face us too. They haven't seen us very often, so. But anytime you can have familiarity, I think it helps for sure.
In your review of last night's game, what can you take from that? I mean, obviously Buffalo's probably not going to have the best year this year. I mean, but how did you think the team handled that upon sort of more reflection?
I don't think it had to, for us, we didn't look at it and say, okay, we're playing Buffalo. We said we have to play a certain way. We were looking for consistency out of our play, and certain areas of the game we felt like we were better at, and we wanted to make sure that we can do that on a day-to-day basis. It's a process. Guys have the ups and downs. When we talk about consistency in individual play, that affects the individual consistency on our team play. So we're looking for the consistency overall. We want to see a work ethic. We want to see a purpose where we're managing pucks fairly well. It's never going to be perfect, but we weren't looking at whether or not we were playing Buffalo or whether or not we're playing Detroit. It didn't matter. We had to look after what Toronto's doing, and Toronto continue to grow and get better and take step by step.
What was key in terms of limiting their shots, and what's going to be key in terms
a lot of that is our management. We were skating and we were managing the puck. We weren't turning the puck over as much as we had in other games, and understanding where you are in the ice and the support, putting pucks into where you need to go, and continue to have offensive possession. We were cycling puck fairly well. We were skating with that. We weren't giving up. Our F3 wasn't being given up as much as before. We felt that we weren't doing a good job in certain areas there, and we made some adjustments. I think our guys recognized that, and sometimes you just have to see it and talk about it and get to this point, but I thought our guys did a better job.
Can that be the difference in terms of taking some pressure off the goalies? They were under a lot of strain last year.
Yeah, I don't know about what the situation was last year overall, but I mean, anytime you're giving up 30-plus shots, that's not good. You're not going to have a lot of success if you do that day in and day out. So you got to limit the shots. There's going to be nights where teams are just, getting the shots and you're not playing at your absolute best. But, you're managing the game overall. A lot of teams get that number of shots when you get into the high 30s because you're turning the pucks over, because you're not exiting your zone in a clean manner. You're not making the first pass, the second pass, and coming out. You're not managing the puck in the neutral zone where you're making clean passes or laying it in behind when it's necessary. And so when you stop doing that, pucks are coming back, and you've got to play the game the right way. And when we're doing that, when anybody's doing that, that's when you have success. The best teams manage the puck well.
Peter, Lupul and Kadri, they feel like they're playing the game the right way. Lupul says he feels like he's gotten more posts this season than he's had his whole career. What are you seeing from those two, specifically because they haven't scored a lot, but
you know, every player wants to be successful individually and wants to help his team. And so when they want to see their numbers go up, they want to see that puck going in for them. They're getting chances and they're working. And then, you know, I thought that Nazi played well and played hard last night. And, you know, that can add to some frustrations. I'm not looking at it that way. It's overall, it's the team winning the game, creating the chances. If they weren't getting any chances, if they weren't playing the game the right way, then you'd be more concerned, and we'd be talking to them about, you know, changing the way they're handling the situation. They're working hard, they're getting chances, they're all over the puck. They're going to start going in for them, and so we're not worrying about them squeezing the stick.
do you, as a staff, give them positive reinforcement? Say, listen, you're on the right track here. You know, don't worry about it. Don't change anything. Just keep plugging away.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of individual things you start talking to individual players about, but overall, we want to give the confidence in the way we're playing as a team game. So we're talking and spending a lot of time right now as a team, how we want to play, and when we're playing in a certain way, we're going to have success. It's not about individual success or if one player's not scoring or scoring. We want to win the game. That's the end of the game, right? We want to make sure that we're getting that W. That's the key. I mean, it's all about piling up wins and piling up points, maturing and developing as a team as you go out through the year. So at the end of the year, you're in a position to go into the playoffs in a positive way. So individuals can help that by playing consistently and getting their game going. But when they're getting the chances the way they are, when they're working around the puck, they're going to start going in for them.